In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to take a SWOT analysis and make it look nice for your presentation. Now we want to make it fit the entire branding of the presentation. So we've made a couple of slides and we're going to make this one fit in just fine. So what I'll do in this video is first we'll look at the breakdown of the current version that we have. And secondly, we'll look at the redesigned version of what I made with the slide to make it fit the presentation. So here we can see the current version of the slide and we have a title, we have a subtitle, and then we have a whole list of bullet points with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now there's a lot to process on this slide, and there's also a lot of white space that isn't being used. So we're losing quite a lot of room on this slide if we lay out it this way. Now, of course, we also want to make sure that we make it fit with the other presentations. So remember these ones where we had the 3 points here. Then we also had the chapter title. We had the agenda and the introduction or the title slide. Now, if you're interested in this template with hundreds of slides that you can just use and reuse for your business, and that has a solid slide master, and that is super important, I keep mentioning it, well, you can find all of the information in the description below and it will save you so much time when making presentations. And therefore I came up with this result here for the SWOT analysis, and we have the exact same elements on the slide. So we have the title, we have the subtitle, but a little bit more spaced out, giving it more room, centering it so everything is nicely and balanced. And then we have 4 parts. So we have this strengths part here, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Each of those blocks contains of a few elements. So we have this block here with the text, the S, then we have that sort of card going around it, and then we have the text in that card. So those are the 3 elements that we just repeated 4 times to have that consistency and to also have that balance. If you look at this slide, you can see it's nicely balanced in quadrants. So that's what we want to achieve with this sort of model. And then we just use simple text bullet points in those 4 with the same layout in the same style. And then we highlight the most important points. So we see strong R&D and scientific expertise. So the R&D, partnerships, proven record, just this makes it easiest for our audience to process all the information. And as a little design element, what I've also done is I've started from a darker blue tone on the background and then gradually went towards a lighter center. So we get that gradient towards the middle from the edges. And this really pulls our attention in, and that's what we want to achieve. Now, if we compare those next to each other, I think we have made an improvement on the design. So the top one here, it was wasting a lot of room on the slide, while in this one here at the bottom, I think with that quadrant and those cards, we really narrowed it down and we made it more easy to digest. And that's what we want for the user or for the audience. Now, an extra benefit of using these cards is that you can easily group those together, those quadrants, and then just sort of animate them at your own pace to come up. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So here we have the presentation, and as you can see, there's hundreds of slides that you can just choose from this template with a solid slide master. So that is important. This deck contains a solid slide master that is useful for businesses. So you can choose any slide that you like and just add your own content and move on. So there's this SWOT analysis, which you can just fill in, which is pretty easy, and you can just overwrite all of the content. Now, what I meant with the animation part is if you do it like this. So you group the 4 elements together, just have to select what you want, just like this. And then you select the grouped items, go to animations, and then you just do like a float in animation, go to animation pane, and maybe you do it on click. Let's do that on click. And then the timing, well, that happens on click. So if we now present the SWOT analysis, you can start with the strengths. Then once you're done talking with those, you talk about the weaknesses, you talk, you go for the opportunities, and then eventually for the threats. So you can put everything on the screen at your own pace.